Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band, different artist, and we listen to one of their records. We get into the music, lyrics, how it was made, and everything in between. My name is Tyler, and with hundreds of miles away is Jeff. While you're listening, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. If you're watching on YouTube, smash that subscribe button. So that's all I have for the boring intro. Let's get into this, Jeff. What band are we doing today, and what album? Go.
We're doing X and their album Los Angeles.
That's true, dude. That's true, dude.
Los Angeles.
That's a good song. So before we so to start this all out, we get into our origin story with the band.
Tom DeLonge's. Oh yeah.
We already did the Tom DeLonge's. We get into the origin story, and then we get into our first impressions of Los Angeles from X. So what do you got? Origin story, go.
Okay, so last week we kind of hinted at it, but like obviously my origin story is Punkorama, is the Pennywise featuring Zini on vocals, doing the cover of We're Desperate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fucking stupid good cover. It's one of the best. It truly is one of the best. But like, I never listened to X like ever after that. Just never did. Until a friend of the pod, Annie, and she got me to listen to X and their first record, and I thought it was great, and I thought it was amazing. But I never listened to anything else after it. And so when I worked at Rock This Town Records, huge shout out.
R.I.P.
And then when I worked there, one of the first records they got was Los Angeles, like first press of it, like a true first press. And I was like, fuck yeah. So I scooped that up. And then I don't know, I've enjoyed this record. Not really this band. I haven't followed this band very closely. But I don't know. I've enjoyed this record for many years. It's good.
It's a good record, yeah. My origin story is, also We're Desperate, the cover from the Punkorama 5 or 6, whatever it was, with Pennywise. That was one of my favorite songs on that fucking CD, off that Punkorama. Loved it.
What was your favorite song?
That was the one, that was Death by Stereo.
Oh, my God.
What?
No, I won't.
Dude, come on. The Death by Stereo
over True Believers,
and I was
over
gonna,
Bath of Least
Resistance.
Resistance.
I was going to say Death by Stereo,
over
No Effects,
That's Life,
and No Effects were my two favorite. I already knew about fucking That's Life because of the album.
I didn't ask you if you fucking knew about these bands or whatever. I asked you what your favorite fucking song was. And you chose a song because
the
like, you
Death
have
by
to
Stereo
put on this. See, you're just a peepee. That's all you are. You're a peepee.
I'm a what?
You're a peepee.
Which
you're
means?
A poser pussy. Poser punk. Punk poser.
Poser pussy.
I forgot what the second P was for.
So Death by Stereo, the fucking No Effects, the Pennywise one, or the Pennywise
Oscar
one. No, the Oscar one was terrible. That song was awful, terrible, awful.
The worst song on the record?
I think that's probably the worst song on the whole record. But you have it on vinyl. So anyway, that was my origin story with the band, the song. I remember listening to Los Angeles once after I realized, this is the band who did it, the song originally, and I just didn't care. It wasn't my thing. I was like fucking 8th grade. I was a punker. I was a metalhead. I didn't give a shit. It wasn't my thing. And then
you weren't a true punker though.
And then friend of the pod, Annie, when her and I first met, we met in when did we meet? 2004, 3 or 4. Her and I met on the set of Dodgeball. That's where her and I first met. And then she was wearing, I don't know if she was wearing the X shirt back then, but for years she always wore that X shirt. The Los Angeles with giant X burning. She wore that shirt for fucking years. And I remember her and I used to go on road trips. We used to go to concerts all the time. And she would always make me listen to Los Angeles. She would always make me listen to X. And I always thought it was cool. It was cool music, but I never really took a deep dive into them ever because I just heard so much of them through Annie. But yeah, anyway, that's my origin story. And my first impression of Los Angeles, it's a killer fucking record. It blends so much of the punk and rockabilly, and I think they just did it so fucking well. So let's get into this. X's Los Angeles, and do we have any stinkers on this record?
No.
Yeah, okay. I don't have any stinkers either.
No.
There's 9 songs on here. So how many stinkers do you have? Or how many bangers do you have? Sorry.
Or 7.
7 bangers. I have 4 bangers.
That's wrong.
Got 4 bangers. I have 2 songs that are almost bangers, but not quite. So
what are your non-bangers?
I didn't write down my non-bangers.
Well, they would be listed as just not bangers. It would just be you have 4 non-bangers.
Well, I don't.
right?
I list my things differently than you, so I don't list my non-bangers. I just list my bangers and then my okay songs, and then I have my notes for each song below that.
I hope you cut none of this out because people need to know how shitty your notes are.
All right.
So what are your bottom songs?
We're doing this again?
I just want to know what your bottom songs are so we can get those out of the way.
Oh my god.
If you tell me, I can tell you exactly what they are.
Nausea.
Like my
Nausea.
That's one of my bottom songs. That's 2 out of the songs I do not think are stinkers. Yeah. That's okay. We can just I don't really care about that.
Okay. So
it's fine. Nausea. And then what's the other one? We have actually 3 more, I think.
Yeah. So, okay, so my bottom 3 songs, my least favorite songs on the record.
It's so easy.
I mean, it literally took me 30 seconds, not even 30 seconds to do this.
Oh my god, that's funny.
All right, so my 3 least favorite songs on this record, they're not stinkers, but they're whatever. I didn't want to put them as an okay or anything. Just whatever. So it's Sex and Dying in High Society, Nausea, and the Unheard Song. Those are my 3 bottom tier songs. I just don't care about them. And we could talk about them more. I have notes for them and everything. But yeah, those are
we're
my
definitely
bottom
gonna talk about them.
Okay.
We can skip over High Society. That's my 7B.
Okay.
I think it was cool. I think the lyrics were kind of cool. I think what she was saying in there was cool. But it's that synth, man.
Yeah, there's some bad synth in that song.
This is the only song where like the synth is bad. The synth is kind of cool in other songs, and the organ is cool in other songs. But this is where it's like, what do you? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like now you're just trying to like insert yourself in the band here, or a.
And it's always just like one note kind of droning, and it's a little bit too loud in the mix.
That's the thing.
It doesn't make any sense. There's no reason.
And
for
he's not even like that. Like okay, so I guess we can go over who produces Ray Manzarek, who is from The Doors. Mm-hmm. He produced his record. He saw the article in like the LA Times, but it wasn't the LA Times. It was something punker in the 80s or 70s about X, and they had the lyrics to Johnny and what the fuck is it? Johnny hit and run Pauline.
Mm-hmm.
They had the lyrics in there, and Ray's like, damn, that's pretty fucking cool lyrics. Like, what is this punk thing, right? Because this is like 70. I think she wrote that when like she was like 20, so it was like 77, 78. And he's like, this is kind of cool. This is like kind of like poetry. This is poetic, and like he would fucking know because Jim Morrison, the poet over there, the drunk poet,
the something,
which, give or take, Jim Morrison was fucking fantastic. Yeah. So anyway, Ray Manzarek sees it. He's like, this is dope as fuck. I'm gonna go watch him at a venue because everybody else hates this music. So let's see what it's about. And he goes and they play Los Angeles, and they play I think they play Soul Kitchen. And he's like, what the fuck? Because but it makes sense though, because they're all from the LA area, and like the Doors were blowing up the scene in LA, and they were like Doors were fucking wild, dude. And so it makes sense that X would cover a Doors song. Ray sees him. Just it's funny too, because like all the articles I read, it said, oh, like Ray talked to him backstage. And I thought, like, how would he get backstage? And it's like the guys who are security there would have to know who he is, right? Like you're not just gonna go backstage. And like, oh, you're fucking Ray Manzarek, right? From the Doors? Oh, come on back. So like
also the Doors would play at like the Whiskey and all the Hollywood venues, LA venues.
Yeah,
every
these
weekend.
guys had to have known, and it's just we're only like almost 10 years removed from their first early shows, so like they probably still worked there. They probably knew who he was. But like, how cool to be a band back there, and you're like, oh, it's a good show. John and Billy and X. Like, was that is that Ray from the Doors? Like, and then he comes up to you and says, hey, I want to produce your upcoming record. Like, let me help you. Mm-hmm. Like, how that's fucking wild, dude.
It is. And he became their mentor, and he produced
crazy.
Their first 4 records. So, yeah, he stuck with the band for a long time after he initially met them at so they initially met at the Whiskey A Go Go, and and then that was in '78. I think it was '78 when they played the Whiskey, and that's when they first met in '78. And then then we have
just
1980 Los
fucking
Angeles.
Wild. It's just it's. I don't know if you watched it too. I didn't tell you.
I didn't watch the doc.
The doc, but like the doc was made a long time ago, and it wasn't like a doc where it details like like their rise to power and fame. It was just like them hanging out for like an hour and a half, and it was still cool and it was still cute. But it was cool to see all of them. Very, very much like Decline of Western Civilization.
Yeah.
Very much like that. Very just like them in their element. But all of them were just like very excited to like, I don't know why people fucking like us. Like we are playing music that like all of our contemporaries aren't really playing, but like we like it, right? And their drummer fucking Breakbone. What the fuck?
I
is
just
his name?
want to say DJ. That's
Bone
his name.
Break. Bone Break.
Bone Break. Okay.
And like there's a scene in there too. I'm gonna unless you reel it in, it'll be all over the place.
That's fine.
Bone Break. There's a scene in the kitchen where Bone Break is talking, and he's a fucking accomplished like jazz drummer. Like dude's a really, 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 really good fucking jazz drummer. Mm-hmm. But then he plays on like X and loves it, just absolutely fucking loves it. But there's a scene in there where he's talking about the coffee. He's like, oh yeah, like John made coffee in the morning. He's like, I came up with this new song that I want to try out, and then he proceeds to like do like a 3 count on his foot, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and hits a 4 in his hand, and he's doing this all in like live time, right? This is 80, so like it's not really AI or church step or whatever, and he's doing like a 4 count on his hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and on his left hand he's like snapping, and he's doing like a 5 count, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all of it together, and like I think it was John who was next to him, maybe it was Billy who was next to him. He was like, what the fuck are you doing? And it was just like, God damn, bro. Like, you just woke up in the morning, come down for some coffee, and you just bust out this 3, 4, 5 fucking time signature thing? Like, you're wild. That's wild.
Yeah, I think his drumming on this record is really, really great, and I think he is a great drummer, but it's really just my least favorite part of the record.
Yeah.
It really is. There's nothing wrong with his playing at all, and it is good, but
he doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
He doesn't show you that he's an accomplished jazz drummer.
Yeah, he's not like Georgie Boy from Minutemen.
No.
Not at all. Like the complete opposite of that. But it's like he could be if he wanted to, but he's a jazz dude, and he knows when to play to his song, he knows when to hold back, and that's just what jazz dudes do. But anyway, no, it's good stuff. Good stuff. So yeah, Sex and Dying in High Society, Nausea.
And then Unheard Music was the other one.
Yeah, Unheard Music,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, there's the Unheard Music was my 6B. So Sex and Dying is my 7B. Unheard Music my 6B. Nausea did not make it B, and then we'll get another B at some point, or not non B, because I can reference my notes a lot faster than your stupid fucking table of contents that you're not going to patent that shit because no one's going to buy it. Tell you that much right now.
It works for me.
It doesn't work for you though. We just spent 10 minutes trying to figure out what's going on.
And you're still going on about it. So what do we?
Because it's so.
What do we do? Are we doing Nausea? Or are we doing Unheard?
I just don't. I can't.
But
my head around,
what are we doing? Like, are we doing Unheard or Nausea?
You're grappling with something that doesn't work.
Okay, that's fine. I don't care. I'll change it.
But you won't change it. You will change it?
I literally just said I would. So what are we doing? Are we doing Unheard or are we doing Nausea?
I need to make a note of this because next week I'm going to come back to it and tell everybody whether or not you're a fucking liar or not.
Okay, so we're doing Unheard Music then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tyler says he.
So this is the slower jam. It just chugs along. It's just I thought it was a little boring. The chorus opens up a little bit to this like ethereal kind of thing, psychedelic thing, but otherwise I kind of don't. I prefer Exene's vocal led songs, I should say. And this one is led by John, and it's good. It's fine. It's just fine. It's very Doors sounding, very, very Doors.
It's the slowest, like least punk song on the album for sure. I think given the subject material, I love it a lot. You're right. Like the chorus is where it kind of like opens up a lot. And I think the heavy staccato riff, like the din 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 din, really leads into that super just fluid chorus. Like great contrast there. Mm-hmm. But it's just a great jam track. Like if we get really cool leads on the guitar later on, everybody's just kind of vibing. Like this could have been like their jam track in an era where like punk is still just like crowning out of the vag. Like nobody knows what the fuck is going on. And they throw out a song like this, and she's like, we all love X. We all love Exene. Like we love her, but she's a shitty fucking singer at this point.
Yeah, she's not great.
But it's by design, right? Like we're not going to like dissect her vocal melodies because she's not good, and that's by design. She's there to contrast John, who is a good singer. But like lyrically, this is about the punk scene. It's about like I love the line that like 1,000 kids bury their parents, right? That's the whole concept of we're all out here. We're not gonna do what our fucking parents say. Like, we're done listening to them. But like, that's such a cool, like, poetic way to say that. Instead of just talking about like, oh, I'm a punker and like fuck authority. 1,000 kids bury their parents, and I don't think
it's a wild line.
I don't think like she's like super poetic the way like Ray saw it, and the way she's kind of like romanticized. But I do think her lyrics are pretty fucking rad, because I think that John overlooks them, and he did overlook them and said, hey, you should change this to do this, and they kind of like collab together to make them better. But I love that. I mean, that's one of my favorite lines on the whole record. 1,000 kids buried their parents.
Yeah,
dope.
It's a really good line. So going back to the history of the band a little bit. So the band was formed by John Doe and Billy Zoom. They started it, and then John said, oh, okay, my girlfriend, she's a poet, whatever. She should join the band too, to, like you said, contrast the vocals and all that with myself. And then eventually DJ came on board. Bone Break came on board at last. But the band seemed to form pretty quickly at that point, and it remained the same until the mid-'90s when Billy Zoom left. But or maybe not, or late 80s, early 90s, whenever it was. But yeah, that's like a little bit of how the band formed and all that. And also, John Doe and Exene were married for 5 years. They were together. They married in 80. They divorced in 85. But they're the only. Well, actually, DJ's a consistent member too. But yeah, just it's kind of crazy. They've constantly put out albums and played shows, and just they never let the breakup of their marriage ruin their friendship and their musical partnership. So
I mean, it's
cool.
like, I guess like the only other, like Jack and Meg White, right? Like their relationship together never affected the band. And I mean, I don't know. I guess when you're that artiste, you probably just think like your shit doesn't stink in any capacity, which I think like when X first started, they didn't think that like at all.
Yeah.
But I think as time progressed, they all kind of thought that.
Yeah, I think so. So, Nausea, do we even want to talk about that? I don't really care.
No, I already put it in red.
You did. Okay. So let's get into our number one bangers, our biggest bangers. BBs, what do you got?
Johnny Hit and Run Pauline.
That's my number one banger too. What do you got on this one? Second
Johnny
song.
Run Pauline. I love like them using that classic like rock and roll, like John, like the like that Johnny B. Good riff in there in the intro, because then we just get straight into like a punk rock track with a little bit of like rockabilly tinge to it, and it's so fucking fun. And like 2 tracks deep, we're already seeing like a healthy amount of trading off lead vocals between like Zini, as I call her, and she wants. Is that good? Yeah, she wants me to call her, and John Doe. And then we get a very quick solo. Like all the solos here are very quick. They're very just like rock and roll sound.
And they're perfect. They're honestly perfect.
So fucking perfect.
Yeah. For the songs, they're perfect. And yeah, one of my favorite parts of this band is when John and Zini they do the back and forth, and then they'll harmonize in the chorus, but in the verses they go back and forth. I think it's so good, and so many bands we loved in the 90s and 2000s did it. Look at Blink. Blink fucking did it all the time. I think that you get these two completely opposite sounding vocals, and you get them to back and forth like that. It usually sounds so good, and in this case it really does. So it's cool. And
I can't think of another example like this, but like here's one I thought of. But like Exene and John Doe. Like John Doe is a good singer. He's a good singer.
Yeah.
Like he's a good at everything. Like everybody in this band, this sounds disrespectful, but everybody in this band is really, really good at what they do, and they're talented. Except for Exene, she was the outcast. She was the outlier.
Bit, yeah.
She was the one that's like, dude, you need some fucking work. And like her vocals and John's vocals remind me of like what I don't even fucking know what his name is, but the guy from 311, like when it gets funny, don't
the two singers.
Not Nick Hexum. Yeah, I don't know who that guy is, but like Nick Hexum is a good singer, right?
Yeah.
Like he's a good singer. It's good. The other, whatever that guy is, that like to me that's
the rapper
Exene.
guy. The rapper guy.
Yeah. But like you need him there. Like dude, Down would fucking suck without that dude in there.
Yeah, it's true.
Like I don't give a fuck.
You need that was it juxtaposition? Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree.
You need it there.
I totally agree. And especially with punk rock at this time, you needed something that made you stand out from all the other hardcore kids, all the other punker kids. And this really is it. And having a girl in the band too, it attracts a lot of people who wouldn't normally listen to punk rock, like a lot of girls, a lot of dudes who just more into rock and roll. Like they're gonna be way more into this, especially with and also with all the rockabilly stylings in it. Yeah, this is way more accepting, or not accepting, not acceptable, but they're just a band that just so many people.
Adventurous. This shit is, it's so adventurous. It's so out there. It's so wild, and you know, like L.A. in the '70s, right? Like Van Halen just dropped like their first record a couple years prior to this. These guys going on tour and playing the Whiskey at the same venue that Van Halen was playing at, and the same venue that the Doors were only playing at, you know, less than 10 years prior. So like this is a whole shift in this entire genre. This, not just the genre, but like the scene in LA in like 70s in LA, as we've talked about many times before, was not a fun time to be in LA.
Yeah. And
then coming into the 80s, where like now we're seeing, I mean, the whole like pay to play thing, right? Like for musicians, like that started in LA in the 80s. Mm-hmm. And I think like now I'm thinking about my mind, I'm thinking about like maybe the pay to play thing came about because nobody wanted punkers at their venues.
Probably,
right?
Yeah.
Like
they didn't want them trashing.
Like, oh
the
yeah,
venues.
you can play, but you better sell 1,000 fucking tickets.
To make up for like whatever's destroyed at the venue.
Yeah,
that's how punk shows were at the time. And like kids would come in
Absolutely
and just destroy everything. Fights would happen. All the liability. Yeah. Imagine like all the lawsuits and the liability of having punker kids at that time, because 70s and 80s LA was absolutely out of control. Totally out of control. And yeah, I don't know. And going back to this song, so we talked about how I think a lot of John's vocals sound like Greg from Bouncing Souls, or Greg sounds like John Doe.
Yeah.
But on this record specifically, I think it's because of a lot of the rockabilly stuff going on. I hear so much Misfits, like Static Age Misfits. That's what I hear on a lot of these songs, which is cool too. I mean, Misfits were big within. They're from the East Coast, but I mean, they were here in LA all the time.
I think it makes sense too. Like when you're playing rockabilly music, you're either, because rockabilly music too, especially in like the 50s and 60s, it's pretty fucking goofy. So like the vocals are going to be very, very like Dwayne Eddy and Elvis, like the kind of like things. Like what else are you going to do besides that?
Too,
yeah, right. So you're going to have to, I don't know, you're going to have to put on a vocal performance to keep up with that sound. And like I get it too. Like these kids are growing up and their parents are already probably too old to be part of like the counterculture movement, right? Because they're probably born in like maybe like 1960, maybe like late 50s. Like Exene and them are probably like born in that era. Yeah. So their parents are already like too old to have, you know, like marched and been a part of the counterculture movement. So their parents are probably old in the sense where they don't like the counterculture movement and think that like getting into like the race thing, they're like Exene's parents and John's parents are probably like, no, that's stupid. I don't want to do that. Like blacks are here and whites are here, right? It's like the birth of punk came from that. Whatever their parents' generation is, like that had to have been the reason like punk really fucking took off and got snotty as fuck and just got very violent.
Yeah, it really was.
I don't know. Am I wrong in that? Right?
No, I get what you're saying.
Like Exene's parents could not have been part of the counterculture, but they're already too old by then.
I think she was born in. I think right now she was. Because I looked up all the main members and like their ages and everything, and Billy Zoom was like 10 years older than Exene, and that's why I feel he has more of that rockabilly style. Like he grew up in rock and roll. He's now like right now he's like 77 or 78 years old. Exene is late 60s. And
she was born in 56, right? So they're born in like they're born in the 50s.
Yes, I mean these are post World War II. This is the early baby boomers. Like Billy Zoom comes from like the silent generation. Like he's in the middle of the silent generation and baby boomers. So he's in that weird spot. But otherwise, it's the boomers. It's the people that grew up in the counterculture, the people that grew up in the late 70s, the psych rock, the metal, the early metal, early punk and everything. But Billy Zoom grew up just a little bit earlier, and that's why he's so influenced by the rockabilly and that style of guitar playing. It's a completely different style. But I think that's what makes this band so cool because, yeah, Billy Zoom doesn't write the songs, but I think he's just as influential as Exene. I think Billy Zoom and Exene are the most important parts of this band, especially early on. because I mean his guitar playing is so fucking cool. It's so different from
it's tough.
what was going on in punk.
I think Billy Zoom, yes, for sure. He's growing up and he's listening to a lot of the stuff his parents listened to, and like, a lot of big band stuff and a lot of like stuff from the 40s.
That's all there was at that time.
And he's listening to a lot of it.
Yeah.
And so he's getting into like the more rockabilly stuff later on. But like I don't know, it really wasn't until like the counterculture movement until these guys who are still kids at the time, they're not a part of this counterculture movement. They're watching it transpire in front of them. And by the time the Doors' first record dropped, they were, 20, 19, 18, 17. But as far as like importance, it's tough, man. It really, really is tough this time because I think Exene is like the face of this band. Mm-hmm. And I think if you took her out, like they would still be popular, but just not nearly as popular. No. But like her lyrics also mean something. Her lyric, like we're talking about, like Johnny and Billy Pauline, or whatever the fuck it's called. Johnny and Billy Pauline. I can only say the name of the song when I sing it.
You see.
But yeah, like she's very important, and Billy's very important because his guitar tone set them apart from everybody else, and we saw him like Western Decline, or Decline of Western Civilization, Western Decline. Older dude. We like his guitar tone is different than everybody else there. But then like the drummer, right? He's kind of like the weakest link. But then when you let him play drums, like holy fuck, he's like the best drummer that's ever been in punk rock music.
Yeah, you're right. You're totally right.
And like Exene wouldn't have fucking amazing lyrics, and she wouldn't have a better voice if it wasn't for John. And the band like wouldn't survive if it wasn't for John because John wrote great songs. So I don't know, dude. I think this is one of those instances where you say like what part of the car is the most important? Like, well, the engine's the most important. Like, well, if you take the steering wheel off the car, can you still drive it? Type of thing. Well, no, you can't. I think everybody here is truly, truly like as important, except for the drummer. But he's probably the best musician in the band.
Which is still so crazy.
Which is cool.
So let's wrap up Johnny Hit and Run Pauline. The lyrics, I think these are some of the most aggressive lyrics. I think these are the most controversial lyrics they put out on this record. And really what it comes down to, the song is about this guy feeding this girl drugs, and he just rapes her over and over, just gives her drugs, rapes her. The cycle continues.
Brutally rapes her.
The song,
so hard
the song
her hair
is pretty
fucking
graphic.
comes out. He wakes up with hair in his fucking hand.
And he's not sure if she's alive. Like she doesn't
care.
Yeah, he doesn't even care. So that's really what the song is about. And at the time people were saying, oh, you guys are promoting rape and drug use and all that. But he's like, no, this is an anti-rape song. This is like to show you how it fucking is. Like we're in the scene. We're living in squats. We're fucking LA and Hollywood is garbage at the time, and it still is, but it was even more garbage back then. And he's just showing you the day-to-day life of living in squalor.
What's cool about like this lyrically, it's a couple of things. Like John really sings this song, right? It's him doing it instead of Exene, which would have been like the most like obvious thing. Let's have the girl sing the anti-rape song, but like he sings it, and I think that's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek thing. To where he's like, hey, let me do this song, or like I will do this song because no one's even gonna fucking get it anyway because a bunch of dumbass punkers, they're fucking retarded, they're not gonna know. And I think that's why he did it, and it's so descriptive in this. And I think the name of like Pauline too, like that name, like this guy in question here, the guy who's going through this and doing these things, like he doesn't give a fuck who he rapes, right? They could all be named Pauline for all he gives a shit. He doesn't give a fucking, he doesn't care. But like for me, it was like waking up with a handful of hair, and it's like, fuck, man, dude, that's so bad, dude. That's so nasty. That's so gross.
It's a gross song. Yeah, it really is.
These are fucking like drug addict punkers, man. And like in the doc, they kind of talk about it, and the Zini covers a couple of parts where she's like, oh yeah, parties and this, and like they got kind of out of hand, and like luckily I had a lot of friends, and like people knew who I was, but like a lot of my friends like didn't, and like it opens up. The whole doc opens up with I guess we can get into it too. But this, what the fucking song is it? I think it's the last song, right? No,
I didn't watch the doc, so I don't know.
Oh, I'm talking for you. Oh yeah, it's Los Angeles. So like the doc kind of opens up with this girl talking. I don't think it was Zini talking. No, it couldn't have been Zini talking. It was some girl talking about like how the entire album of X was written about her, and like it shows me at my worst, but like it also kind of shows me that like I'm human and they forgive me for what I did, so I didn't sue them. And then the doc starts, and it's like, oh, you're the girl they're talking about in like Los Angeles, right? You're the girl that they think is like racist, and you're the girl that does this. But the way she like did the intro, actually, if you just watch the intro alone, the intro is really fucking good. The way her monologue in the intro is really good. You feel for this girl, like even though, and I guess we can talk about Los Angeles. My 2B Los Angeles. Okay. So like in the intro, she talks about how she's a bad person and like everybody hated her and whatever. But like Exene understood why she did the things she did. So therefore, like I forgive her. And you're kind of like, damn, that sucks, man. Like that sucks that you're pushing this corner so aggressively, so hard that you had to do what you had to do to survive, right?
Yeah. I mean, so Los Angeles, the story is loosely based on a friend of theirs. They call, obviously this is not her real name, but Farrah Fawcett Minor. This is based on her. She went to England. She left Los Angeles to go to England to follow. Was the guy from The Damned, Captain?
The bass player.
Yeah, I don't remember Captain something.
Which is obviously fake
Captain Sensible.
Ever follow a fucking bass player?
Captain Sensible, yeah. Especially in England.
Like, come on,
especially in England.
I know. All the worst bass players are from England.
From England, yeah. But yeah, no, that so the story is based around that, and then if you read the lyrics, it's talking about somebody who's just so disillusioned with L.A., with Los Angeles, and just hates the culture, hates the people, hates all. I don't want to say the culture, but all the different cultures, because in the song they throw out the N-word, they throw out Jews, they throw out Mexicans, white, they just throw out like everybody, and she's like, I can't stand any of these people, I can't stand any of this anymore, and then she leaves Los Angeles. But I feel like that's how a lot of people are. They can't stand the culture shock of LA. LA is quite a culture shock. If you grew up in like rural fucking Iowa and you come to fucking LA, that's massive culture shock. Yeah. Even if you come from another country, like I feel like we've talked about it before. It's like if you come from another country and you see all the glitz and glamour of Hollywood and LA and Beverly Hills, and you come here and you see it and you're like, this is really it. This is fucking disgusting. It's terrible here. Like that's a fucking massive culture shock. So
and in like the 70s to boot too, where like
it's even worse.
Like racial tensions are high. Yeah. There's the police are still corrupt and they're still corrupt. But
the 70s, the Watts riots, all that kind of shit. That was wild.
It's interesting because I think like Exene probably and I did read a lot of interviews where she did open up a little bit more. But the whole thing about like Johnny Hit and Run Pauline, I think it's partly about like her friend. I think her friend did go through some shit. I don't think Exene ever did because she never like implicitly said it, but she mentioned it in a couple interviews that I read, where like the same friend she talks about a lot is the one that left, and it's probably not hard to figure out which one of her friends left if you really went into it. But yeah, dude, this is fucking sad. It's got tones of sadness, both in empathy, as well as like the writer is fucking sad, right? Like, I'm sad for you, and I'm just sad. Like Exene understands that her friend must be sad. Like when she mentions her friend buying the watch in L.A., like signifying the times. Like you buy a watch in L.A., right? And like metaphorically, like that watch is now like stuck into the L.A. time zone. No matter where you travel on Earth or different planets or wherever the fuck you go to, that watch is now stuck to L.A. That is your last tie to like your homeland, to your home base, to the people that you knew and loved. But like how easily can you just reset that watch and just forget everything, right? Like just such a small gesture that means a lot. And I think there's also a loose motif of like time and expiration here. Maybe not like deep or complex, but at least like the acknowledgement that things do have an expiration date, or they do expire, like the day does. And she talks about it in the song. And like obviously the usage of the hard ER for N-word here.
Yeah. I changed it in 2019 to Christian.
Well, they changed it over the years. I mean, it was for many years they didn't like saying it, and they said Christian, which I think is fine. I like that they used it to begin with, and I like that they changed it later on, because the usage here is in direct response to like these kids seeing like the death of the counterculture, right? Yeah. And like I'm just echoing my parents and what my parents said, and Exene has talked about, and like John Doe has talked about, like, oh yeah, like growing up, like my parents told me to fear like black people because of where they grew up and stuff, and it's like this is a direct response for like their parents' values being passed on to them.
Yeah.
And they use that word in a way like a punker should use that word, not to elicit like like racial reactions, but to listen like, oh fuck, no, okay, I'm listening.
Mm-hmm.
But then like later on, you realize, okay, like times are changing, times are changing. Therefore, I'm going to change the lyrics. So I think using it then was acceptable, and then even more acceptable is not using it now.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that.
Perfect song.
It's a great fucking song. It's my 3B.
It's a fucking perfect song.
It's my 3B. Yeah.
Unreal.
It is. So and I do like. I think the lyrics on we talked about earlier too. The lyrics on this record are great. They're not just about like love and heartbreak. They're actually never about love and heartbreak. They're about the scene. They're about drug use. I mean, there's so many different things going on. And I love that. It's not a love album. It's not a heartbreak album. And you could get that so easily with both John and Exene too. But they don't. It's just it's nitty gritty. And then also I was reading about Exene and she was saying when they were recording this record, Los Angeles, they worked with Ray, and he had to kind of reel everybody in because obviously he's a little bit older. But she even said like I was the most wild one out of all four of us. Like I was the hardest one to rein in.
Drink the whole time.
Yeah, she just wanted to fucking party, and she said it was like the whole time was a giant party. It was like this really cool club where everybody just came and just hung out and got fucked up, but she was the craziest one of them all, and so I don't think any of these songs are about her. I think it's what she saw around her, like girls coming in thinking they could be like her, or they would strive to be somebody like her, but they could never hang enough. Like they either got fucked up and raped, which is so bad, or they ended up leaving like she did in Los Angeles because they couldn't handle the culture or the scene or anything like that. So they abandoned ship. But Exene was like, no, she lasted, man. She's wild, man. She's fucking wild.
Reading some of the stories about like the recording process and how she did want to just be fucked up the whole time. But then like obviously there's little clips they take out of context and stuff. And there was one where it said like Ray, after like 15 tries, and she was not getting it, and she wasn't taking it very seriously. Oh, yeah. And Ray was like, this is forever, right? Like this is what people will hear for you forever. And she was like, oh fuck, I probably should knuckle down. And that's cool. Like that's some fucking real talk, Like
she had this realization.
That's been through it.
Like this realization, like this isn't just a concert that after the concert's done, that's it. Like nobody remembers, or nobody really remembers it. But I mean, people will hear this for literally forever if as long as we're popular. So she had that realization, and so young too. I mean, you're just so carefree and don't give a fuck. You're in the punk scene, like especially with around a bunch of dudes that
dudes, bro, just
that treat her like shit.
Dudes,
yeah, like the
right?
gnarliest, dirtiest, grossest, disgusting dudes ever. And she fucking
sharing
dominated.
Needles, sharing fucking alcohol, sharing cups. Like I'm just. Like we don't talk about diseases enough either. I'm sure there was so much fucking
I'm sure
AIDS and like going throughout those fucking needles. All these guys doing drugs. Yeah. I can't even imagine. It's just absolutely disgusting.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you remember in the NoFX book, they were talking about. I think Smelly was talking about it. How they knew a bunch of people who died from AIDS because they were all fucking sharing the fucking heroin needles, and so many of their friends died because of it.
Isn't that crazy, dude? Yeah. Just to think about like. I mean, even just specifically NoFX. Like Fat Mike didn't really do drugs until like he was like 30.
Yeah,
like
until
late 20s,
late 90s. It was like the late 90s when he started drinking and getting
like
up.
Basically like once Smelly stopped doing them, then Fat Mike started doing them heavily.
Yeah,
it was like that's crazy to me.
Yeah, that is wild.
And then like Fat Mike is no he's not shy about saying what he's done and what he does and what he continues to do. And it's just like, damn, bro, how are you? Like I don't know, man. Doing drugs in your teens and 20s is one thing, but doing them in like your 40s and 50s is fucking wild.
Yeah, I know. But he never did. I don't think Fat Mike ever did like the hard shit, like the heroin and the crack and all that kind of shit. Like
I think for sure he's done everything imaginable.
I don't think so.
But I do think after that silly boy talk, I absolutely do think so. But I just think that he has a strong willpower to succeed, and that overtakes his. Like any addiction that he has.
That's fair. But okay, so yeah, getting back to X and Exene in the wild scene that was punk and hardcore in the late 70s and 80s. I mean, it was. I mean, you just watch the decline of Western civilization. You watch that documentary, which they're in heavily for like a good 10, 15 minutes. They're in that documentary, and there's some cool interviews. And dude, these people, her and the guys in the band, dude, they're like 20 years old. Well, not Billy Zoom, but the other guys, they're like 20, 21 years old. They're fucking kids, man, and they're living in a fucking squat. They're playing in a house. They're playing in like the gnarliest club in fucking LA. But they're having the time of their fucking life, and they're partying like crazy. It's such a great documentary. Both of them are, or the first two are great documentaries. But yeah, the punk one, man, it's wild times. And she survived. She fucking survived that shit. When most girls don't survive it. Remember there was that crazy story also going back to the NoFX actually, the NoFX book where Mike and Melvin were at that. It was like in 82 or 83. They were at the club and they saw these like skinhead guys carry off a girl who was passed out. They were going to go rape her, but they're like, we're like two scrawny kids up against these giant, fucking skinheads. Like, what are we going to do? They would literally kill us. Yeah. And they just kind of like let them take this girl away just to rape her. It was just so traumatic.
Yeah. And it's like,
that was the scene back then. It was disgusting.
If a well-known Jello Biafra can get his head kicked in at like his hometown at his home show, then like it can happen to anybody. That's even true. Worse.
Yeah, especially if you're a girl, man.
But yeah, she did survive. I do think like, I mean, this is not like a put down or anything, but I think she's there to prop the band up and like, hey, look at us, even more so than our music. Like we have a girl singer, and then you have like the Circle Jerks. And like at that time, Black Flag and then Dez and just being like sloppy as fucking all hell. And then you have like a girl singer and she sings like a girl, but really, really shitty. So it's still kind of punk, right? Yeah. Because like she does sing really, really
all the
shitty
guy singers out there sing like shit. Unless you're like fucking Danzig or like a few other singers, like you're kind of a shitty singer.
You're for sure a shitty
and
singer.
even somebody like Danzig's not this great singer, but at least he's very, very melodic and he can keep in key, and stay in key, and be super fucking melodic and shit. But yeah, most of them they all suck. So anyway, let's move on. All right, so what's your 2B?
We already did my 2B. Los Angeles.
Okay, so then my 2B is your phone's off the hook, but you're not.
Dude, that's like, I mean, that's not a B for me. That's
really?
One of the songs I think is okay. Yeah, I think it's okay. But I think this should have been like a Taking Back Sunday title or something like that. They should have done something with this, right? Isn't it like a Fall Out Boy or some fucking kind of thing?
With the title, yeah. The title's like
that's
way
crazy.
Too long.
That's such a cool fucking title for like your phone's off the hook, but you're not.
It's very,
that's
very
emo,
very Midwestern
through.
emo. Very Midwestern emo. Yeah. 15 years later, this would have been huge. The title
slayed.
Yeah, but this is a very Ramones sounding song. It has a ton of the rockabilly, but a lot of Ramones did, especially like the first 6 or 7 records. It was all rockabilly, just faster rockabilly, more like heavier guitars. But in the end, way better riff than anything Ramones did because we don't like the Ramones. The Ramones suck, man. They really do.
I definitely don't like the Ramones at all. But there's probably 10 Ramones songs I think are fucking top-notch, fantastic, beyond bangers.
Yeah, there's some good stuff, but overall, with all the music that they put out, overall, it's just most of it's not good. So.
I think Ramones Mania, the double LP, I think that's too many Ramones songs. If it was one LP, greatest hits, I could pick them. I can give you one, and I'd buy it.
All right. So with this song, John Doe wrote this song like he was trying to write an Eddie Cochran song. He was very, very influenced by rockabilly and Eddie Cochran in general, and this is his attempt at writing a song like him. And whatever, it's cool. I love the harms between the two of them. Once again, I think that's what they do so well, the harms, the back and forth. But this song really, really kills it. And Billy Zoom's guitar playing. The change up between the palm mutes and the more open strings, god damn, dude, just the right hand, his right hand on this song, it's not overly complicated, but it's perfect. It matches it's perfect for the song itself. So I don't know, I think it's a killer song, and the story behind it, which is tragic, but the song was written by Exene, and it was written about her sister Muriel. about how I guess she was living in New York and a lot of people didn't like her in the scene over there, the music scene, the art scene, whatever it was. And she'd get robbed all the time and she just didn't have a good time over there. For what reason, I don't know.
Just didn't have a good time over there.
That's at least what I got from what I was reading. She didn't have a good time while she was in New York, and people treated her like shit. So Exene wrote this song about her, or for her, or referencing her, and then they put this album out, and they played 2 sets in one night at the Whiskey. I believe it was the Whiskey. They played 2 sets that night. After the first set of the album release of this album, Exene got the phone call that her sister died in a car accident. And then even after that, they still played the second set and I guess killed it. But yeah, getting the news that your sister died like that in that way, that's wild. It's tragic and sad, but wild.
Because I do want to like extrapolate on that. I think that her sister got a lot of shit too in New York because, especially in the 70s too, the whole like East Coast versus West Coast punk thing, right? Like which version of punk is better? And I'm sure they figured out that this girl's sister is in that band X from LA, and that band fucking sucks. Like fuck you, like girls can't be in punk. So I'm sure like she got shit for her sister.
Probably.
And then actually in the doc, the doc was an hour and a half, and I think there's probably 10 minutes of just like, oh, that was worth it, and then like an hour and 20 minutes like, this is you're just playing music. But there was a part where years later she was at the Whiskey, and she's looking at the balcony on the top floor, and she's like, yeah, this is the balcony where, or no, I think it's the balcony. She's like, this is the balcony where like somebody told me like my sister had died. And I think it was Billy, maybe John, I don't know, one of them threw something and shattered the window. And so all the glass went outdoors towards sunset, right?
Yeah, it's sunset.
And then there's an awning there on the Whiskey. And all the glass like shattered all into the awning. And obviously they fixed it years later. But like Exene's up there and she's like, yeah, that's the same glass from the night like my sister died. And just seeing it, and then it was just like soft and like dead. And she's like, yeah. It still fucking hurts. Like sometimes I still get really drunk and go off on myself and just die. I'm like, damn, that's sad.
That's really sad.
That was it. Also, another story I read too. Getting back into the more fun part of New York because New York is such a shithole too. But the story goes, they went to New York to play CBGB's at some point in this era, and their van got towed. And Exene shouted at the guy as they're towing their fucking van. They have no fucking money, of course. And the guy's towing their van. And she's like, dude, there's no fucking sign that says no tow-away zone. He says, lady, the entire New York is a no tow-away zone. Or a tow-away zone. And I can imagine that actually happening because New York is such a fucking shithole.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. New York is terrible. I've never been, but it's fucking terrible.
You should probably go at some point.
Tammy always wants to go, like, but I just don't care.
I fucking guarantee you, it's one of those things where people say, "Yo, you should go at least once," and as soon as you get there, like, I want to fucking leave.
I want to go home.
I hate this place. It's not fucking cool, man. And like the further we get into like the 21st century, the more expensive everything is.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, I didn't want to get into the politics of the whole Mondani thing and trying to like lower the rent costs and everything, but New York is such a fucking garbage. It's a shithole.
It really is. It really, really is. So, hold on. Are you letting the dog in? I guess not. So anyway, phone's off the hook, but you're not. Are we go?
Such an emo line.
It is.
Dude, that's crazy.
But you gotta say, but you're not. You gotta say it like you're not. Like you're accusing them of something. So.
But like in a very lighthearted, like I'm mad, but I'm not that mad. But you're not.
But you're not. So yeah. Anyway, let's move on from that. So we talked about
we got 3 left, baby girl.
Soul Kitchen. That's my 4B.
Oh damn, that's a Doors cover.
I know it's a Doors cover.
You hate the Doors.
I'm not a big fan of the Doors. No, I'm not.
I know it's crazy.
Well, it's not crazy, but it's something.
It is. The Doors' first record is like the greatest psych rock record of all time. Like it's crazy. Okay, you don't like the Doors.
Fine. That's fine. It's just not my thing. Not my thing. But yeah, it's a song from their debut record from 1967, and it makes sense. I mean, Ray Manzarek produced this record, was a mentor to this band, like we mentioned earlier. But yeah, it's just like cool, like power pop, pop punk kind of rendition of it. I wouldn't say there's really any rockabilly in it.
Punk, like through and through.
It is.
They took, and then also just getting into like the Doors were like blazing their own path through L.A. They're from L.A. Like no one, I mean, they formed in L.A. and they blew up the L.A. scene, and like nobody knew who the Doors were, and they're playing this music that's so fucking wild, that's so out there. And we talked about it in the Iggy Pop episode or the Stooges episode, where Jim Morrison was fucking crazy. Like he's pulling his dick out on stage.
Yeah.
He's doing things that he literally got arrested multiple times for public indecency, for being gross, for being stuff
too
that like
sexy,
today
some people would say at the time.
For doing stuff that like if it was today you'd be on like Megan's Law or some shit. Like it would not be okay. But this is the 60s, dude, and like anything fucking goes. The Doors were wild, and they did it all without a bass player.
I know, that's crazy too.
You know what I mean? So like we get like Robbie Krieger on guitar, and he's doing like the Wes Montgomery thing where he's kind of like flat picking with his thumb, like bass lines. Mm-hmm. And then also you get like Ray like on the keys, like doing like a good bass line on his left hand, and then doing lead parts on his right. Like that's fucking insane. That's crazy. They never needed a bass player, and that's dope. And Jim Morrison did nothing except just be
annoying,
just be great, dude. Jim Morrison.
I care so little about Jim Morrison and all that.
Just one of like honestly, truly like one of the greatest like poets like rock music has ever seen. And then we have Soul Kitchen, and like this song is like one of the weakest songs on that record because it's just about Jim Morrison being so fucked up and passing out at like the local diner in like Venice Beach or some shit to where they kick him out. And this is before the Doors were the Doors, because nobody would ever kick out Jim Morrison, 1970. And he's so fucking drunk. He's so spun out that they kick his ass out. And like this song is about that. But god damn, dude, the original. Did you go back and listen to the original Doors version of this?
No, I did not.
Dude, the original Doors version, fucking dope ass song. It's the second track on the record. The guitar riff is like an homage to the horn section of the James Brown song, Papa's Got a Brand New Bag.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with that song or not, but banger of a fucking song, dude. Not many psych rock songs rooted in like serious soul grooves at this time, and like this is it. And they play this song so fucking fast. Like
it is fast, yeah.
It's a completely reimagined version of the original song.
I totally agree. It sounds, I mean, to the best of, I mean, all the Doors music I've heard, it sounds nothing like the Doors. There's nothing here. Like when I first listened to it, I had no idea it was a Doors cover until I was going through the lyrics, so kind of going through the album, and then I read that it was. But yeah, I would have never in a million years thought this was a Doors song. Because it's very punk power pop. That's really what it is. It's fast. It's a little bit aggressive.
It's punk.
It's good. It's great.
There's no power pop on this record whatsoever. It's punk.
Okay.
It's too early. It's too early. Don't be crazy. Don't diminish. Don't keep throwing that out there like you're gonna get away with it. Like no.
I already got away with it.
Yeah, you did not. Judging by your fucking note taking.
Get the fuck out of here. So Soul Kitchen. What's another song? I mean, we've gone through most of the songs at this point, but
yeah, we just Sugar Light, which you've hated, and then
I didn't hate it.
Mess.
Get the fuck out of here! I didn't hate Sugar Light.
It's a dope rockabilly song.
It's a really cool song, but there's not. It's a John Doe led song, and it's just there's not a ton of melody here. Exene's almost non-existent except for some harms in the chorus, but otherwise this is just and the chorus hits so late. It takes like over a minute just to get to the chorus. You get through like three verses, and then you finally get it.
All that's fine. Because the two people that shine here are Bone Break and Billy. They take this one over for me. Bone Break, he's fast the entire time, right? But he also switches up because like what he's playing, and when he starts riding the bell, like later on, it's got this like jazzy flair to it. It's kind of this I don't know, this weird polyrhythm thing that he's doing that's opposite of his foot. So like the bell hit and his feet are doing two different things, but they're coming together. Like when I talked about earlier with him at the coffee machine, the percolator, and him just laying out this fucking thing within like 2 seconds. That's what's happening here. It's fucking amazing. Like his drumming on this is absolutely amazing.
It is really good.
But then But then Billy Zoom, dude, his solo is fucking
I love the
wild. It's so good.
And it drops out of the chorus because so the chorus has the big bell hits that are super loud. They just pierce right through the mix.
They're right in the front.
And then it drops into the solo. So you get one chorus, it drops into that super cool short solo, but the solo is perfect for the song because it's like the song is only like 2 minutes and 20 seconds. It's super short, but it's perfect for the song, and then it just pops back up into that fucking killer chorus again. So it's still the only reason why it rides the line of being an actual banger is because the chorus, it takes so long to hit the chorus. For such like a short punk song, the chorus should have been so much sooner in the song, but it's not.
Okay.
And because it's John led, like I said, I think Exene has her songs where she's the lead, I think are just better songs. And then John harmonizes with her. John's a great singer, whatever, but I just like Exene's stuff, her vocal stuff better.
Okay.
By the way,
that leaves one.
Sugar Light's good. One. And also, it's just about shooting up heroin. Another super fucking dark song.
Oh yeah.
Like there's not a lot here lyrically, but it's clearly that's what it's about. It's about shooting up heroin.
There's some crazy lines in this one too, like talking about like swallowing the bulbs, but there's bulbs everywhere. Which is like a metaphor for like, yes, I'm shooting up, but like everyone else fucking is too, and the whole.
Well, I think the bulbs refers to like a balloon of heroin.
I mean,
that's what I thought it was.
Even if that does make it right, because the line, and I don't have to pull up, but it's even though I'm doing it, everyone else is doing it too. Because it's like, yes, swallowing the bulbs, but I'm in a city of bulbs, right?
Yeah.
So it's like whatever it is, I could be drinking, but I'm in a city of drunks or whatever.
So, city of heroin. Like just you get heroin anyway.
Like yes, I'm doing heroin, but I'm in a city of fucking heroin. Just another the plight of L.A. At the time, and also like the cold leeches part. I saw someone say, I've never done heroin, so I don't.
Yeah, gold leeches. I didn't understand that line.
Was it gold or cold?
I thought it was gold. Maybe it's cold. I don't know. I thought I read gold.
Maybe it was cold. Maybe it's gold. I don't know. But anyway, I saw somebody say like that's supposed to represent like the feeling of like an alcohol pad swabbing your arm, which every movie I've seen they don't swab your arm; they just fucking inject you. But I don't know. I don't know what heroin addicts do in the 70s. But I was like, oh,
you
that's
think
kinda,
they really?
interesting.
They're reusing needles. You really think they have alcohol swabs at the
I
ready?
don't fucking know.
Come on.
I don't know what fucking heroin addicts do.
Come on,
we've
guy.
seen a lot of people do a lot of things, but I've never been in the same room.
If people are sharing,
heroin. I've never.
If people are sharing needles, they're not fucking worrying about alcohol swabs.
Are they really sharing needles though, or is that just the government implanting broken ass fucking AIDS-infected needles into the populace?
Could be both. Honestly,
say it.
Could be
say
both.
It. Just say it.
You never know.
There it is.
You never know. You never know. Good. Yeah, heroin's fucking gnarly. It's so bad.
Heroin's gnarly. I would never do heroin.
No, no way. Actually, Tammy and I were just talking about it like a week ago because a good friend of hers died from heroin, like less than 10 years ago, and she was there one of the last times or like one of the later times he was using, and he was like trying to hide it and shit, and it got all fucking crazy. But yeah, and then he.
And again, my whole knowledge of heroin is just what I see on TV and stuff. But people trying to hide heroin, it's like, dude, come on.
Yeah, you can't.
Come on.
Yeah,
can't
hide that shit.
Come on.
All right, so Sugar Light. Let's move on from that to what's the last song?
We got one more. The World's a Mess.
The World's a Mess. What do you got on this one?
To My Kiss by the X's. Anyway,
the last song.
This is Exene's favorite song. She likes this one a lot. One of the first things she ever wrote. This is like 77, 78. She wrote this when her and John were dating, and he went back to the East Coast to visit his family. He dropped her off at Baltimore on his way to his parents' house because he was too afraid to tell her that he was dating this fucking wild hardcore punker from LA. And so she kind of like went through this and wrote this whole thing. But she also opened up about her songwriting in the same interview, which is why I bring this up, because she had this book, this like leather-bound book it all sounds fucking like fake as shit, right? This all sounds like fairy tale stuff. But what do I know? I don't write shit. I don't read books. I don't care. So she had this leather-bound book that she had, and she's like, hey, I have this idea for a song. I'm like, check this out, John. and he would look through it and be like, "Oh, that's good. I like this part, but take this part out." And then he would flip through the pages of like almost like her. That's essentially a diary, right?
Well, no, not a diary. If it's just poetry.
But it's personal and it's fucking deep and it's something you care very much about. It's like, what's the difference between that and a diary? A diary is just a chronological.
It's more of
what happened that day.
Yeah, it's more of an account of where you are in life, not anything cryptic, per se. But so I wouldn't say that the same thing.
You would know what a fucking diary is too. Good Lord, do you ever have a diary?
Just when I went to Europe, that was the only time I ever had a diary.
You still have it?
I still have it.
Oh, dude, we gotta type those up. It's
actually on the bookshelf in the spare room.
Oh, so I could have read it.
Could have read it. Yeah, it's in there. It's on the bookcase in the bookcase.
But will you move it by the next time I come out?
No, I'll keep it there.
Okay.
You probably can't read my writing, but no. Every day you and Chris were in Europe, I wrote the entire day. I mean, it's not like a lot. It was just kind of like. It's just kind of like what we fucking did that day. And some of the days were just like we played fucking gin rummy for 6 hours on the train.
Fucking hell.
Which we did.
God damn.
Those were some of those days.
So bad. Yeah. You're like Anne Frank over here.
And the only reason I did that because my mom and like so many people were saying you're not going to regret it. Just write down what you do every day because you're going to in 10 or 20 years you're going to forget everything. It's like, nah, that's not true.
That's 100% true.
Yeah, exactly. We're
Dude, do parents know what they're talking about?
17 years later, then it's absolutely true. A lot of that trip I don't remember, but
I don't like the idea that parents know what they're talking about. That kind of pisses me off.
But
parents,
should just shut up. And you and Chris made fun of me every single day I wrote in it.
Oh, I'm still gonna make fun of you for writing a diary. That's fucking dumb as shit. that's feminine and dumb and silly.
All right, so let's get into The World's a Mess. It's in my kiss.
Yeah. Anyway, the pretty traditional like punker song, but just like damn solid, dude. Melodic, fast, but not sloppy. Even though they're sloppy a lot. And Exine's shrill, like her little shrill wail, fucking rad. I don't mind the synth here, because he's really providing a backdrop, and you can hear him kind of like riffing away, like he kind of gets into it a little bit. He's kind of like part of the band, like.
But it's more. It's not really a synth. It's just the organ. It's just him playing the organ. It's not really a synth.
He does synth and organ, and that's just according to the credits. Yeah, okay. This is the synth right here. Like the fuck.
But like the main part where he does the solo, that's all organ. That's not a synth. That's all organ.
According to the wiki and what he plays on here and what he did not play, that's all I'm saying.
I know what he actually played. I do.
Gotcha.
He let me know. He let me know a while ago.
He's dead, but that's okay.
That's why I said he let me know a while ago.
See, that's racist.
How is that? What is racist about that? Anyway, this song is also very rockabilly influenced. There's so much. I think there's more rockabilly than anything else. This is really what it is. You put this out in the early mid '60s. This would have really fit in outside of like her kind of bad vocals. This song would have been not big, but it would have been popular at the time. Absolutely.
It's so like his raised like synth playing too reminds me of Light My Fire. The but anyway, yeah, I agree. It is very very rockabilly. It's very pretty. I think it's like people have called it like the prettiest punk song that's ever been, or the prettiest punk love song that's ever been, and I can see it because it's a politically driven song, right, about like the state of the world and how shit it is, and which we take for granted now in punk music because like everybody talks about how fucking garbage the world is, but that wasn't like a big thing back then, and especially like we talk about like Milo and talking about parents and stuff and Black Flag and not really like taking on the scope of world affairs, which I don't think they're taking on the scope of world affairs here. I just think they're saying like, yeah, everything is garbage, everything is shit. So I don't know.
Okay, yeah, and I feel like she's also very like disillusioned with everything she sees in society, with poverty, with the government and all that stuff. She doesn't name anything specifically, but it's all kind of there. And what was going on in 1980? what's his name? Carter was just out. Reagan was just elected. A year and a half before this, and so I mean that's a massive political change because Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan at the time were just such polar opposites. And punkers hated Reagan. They hated Reagan with a passion.
Reaganomics, baby.
Reaganomics, baby. We've seen how that goes. But yeah, the world's a mess. It's in my Kiss. It's a cool song. It's a cool ender. Honestly, it ends the whole album on a high note, and I think that's nice. It's really nice.
I think it's a fantastic ender, and I think it does end the album on a high note because it's a banger of a song, but it also ends the album on like, well, the world sucks and it's fucking shitty, so let's just self-medicate, let's just get fucked up, because she talks about like not necessarily like doing drugs, but there's definitely like drug implications in like that last big long chorus, like how high is the moon? I wish I was that high. Like there's that kind of thing. Like, woe is me. This sucks. Let's just get fucked up. That's sad.
It is. Yeah.
For a 20-year-old to be so like morbid and just
actually, now that I'm thinking about it, she wasn't 20. She was born in 56. She was 23, 24 years old when she wrote these songs.
56, 66, 76.
That's 20. The album came out in 80, so she'd be 24 when this album came out. She wrote these songs 2 years earlier, 22 when she wrote them. It's still young, obviously, but she's not 16 in high school still.
Yeah.
But anyway, so let's wrap it up, give our final thoughts on this record, rate the record based off of our world-famous 3-point rating system, where 3 is a perfect album, 2 is a good album you're going to continue to listen to, 1 is a bad album, but give it a shot, and 0 is the worst thing you've ever heard. So what do you got? Go.
This is like the last-ditch effort to not let LA succumb to just shitty fucking like hair metal and like male-driven kind of like music. And I don't think X is talked about enough. And like we're from like Orange County and Los Angeles County in California and southern United States, like southwest United States. And so like obviously we hear a lot about these bands. So I don't know what people from like, I don't fucking even know.
Jolly old England.
I'm trying to name some like, well, England, they don't know what the fuck they're doing over there.
They have no idea.
I don't know, from like Africa or people like are from like Pakistan. Like, do they even give a fuck about this?
No, they don't give a fuck about this.
But like everybody likes music though. Like everybody likes music in some capacity, be it like your own tribal music or your own folk music or your own music, whatever it is. But it is. But like I don't know, music is in the 80s has been Sunset Strip. That was it. Like that was the bee's knees. That was so fucking popular. Like the radio slayed. Bingenheimer. Actually,
Rodney
some of the guys from X. I don't think X was on, but in the doc I watched too, it was like John, whoever the fuck it was. They were on Rodney's show and goofing off, and he's like, "Who are you guys? Like, who are you?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm this." He's like, "Oh yeah, actually, I have listened to you. I do like you a lot." And so I think like X was like the last true stand again. Because I don't think Black Flag stood a chance against like the hair metal of the 80s.
No,
I don't think Fear. I don't think
there wasn't enough pop there. There wasn't enough pop there.
There was enough sex appeal. And at least if you have a girl in your band in the 70s into the 80s, there's enough sex appeal to where you can hold a candle. You can even like be in the same conversation as the hair metal that's going to dominate the 80s, and the metal that's going to dominate Sunset Strip.
They're also like X is a good transition between pop stuff like the Bangles and stuff like that into punk rock. Because it's like you hear the maybe you hear the Bangles for the first time in like 83 or 84. You hear the Bangles, like, oh, I really like this shit, especially as a girl, and you're like, I want to hear some heavier. I want like heavier stuff. You get into X, like, wow, this is really really good. And then that you transition into they're kind of like this gateway. I feel like X were this gateway between both sides. Like if you really were into punk or hardcore, X was your way out of that into the more pop stuff, the new wave, the 80s new wave stuff, and all that shit. And then vice versa. New wave 80s, you hear X for the first time. You're like, well, maybe I do like punk. And then you get into fucking Black Flag or whoever. Misfits.
Interesting. I like that. And here's why I'm going to... So this is a perfect 3. And here's why I'm going to give it a perfect 3. Because I'm going to take what you just said and then kind of dive into it. So like all these other SSTs and bands that we've been doing, right? The Husker Do's, Husker Don'ts,
yes,
the Minute Men's, and then the Meat Puppets. They all started off as one thing, and then like really like hit their stride when they stopped doing that one thing. And that one thing was hardcore punk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like all three of those bands, we love them not because they were hardcore punk, because like they came from the scene and became something better.
Yeah.
Except for X. X came from the scene and was already fucking great when they did it.
True. Yeah. They already
like,
kind of peaked. They already kind of peaked, but then they never did anything better than this. Like,
and that's fine.
Yeah. No.
It's
It's fine. It's fine.
Van Halen never did anything better than Van Halen 1, and that's okay.
True. Yeah, it's true. But
it's like this band came out in a time when they should not have survived because their sound wasn't the hardcore sound like at all. They were vastly different than their contemporaries. And truth be told, they had a girl in their band, and she was the front man and she was a singer, but she was tough as fuck, right?
Yeah.
But she wasn't. I don't know. She held her own, but also had her like femininity about her.
Femininity.
And so she still kept like her identity as a woman, but also still fucking slayed as a punk frontman. So I think that's why I'm obviously, I already said I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 3. That's why I give it a 3 out of 3, is because a lot of the bands like were bred from this. You ever watch the fucking Dark Knight Rises, the third Nolan movie?
Why are you asking me like have I watched? I watched it with you.
So
like one of the times I watched it in theaters, I watched it with you. Like you're acting like we haven't been friends for 25 years. Get the fuck out of here.
I didn't say the Dark Knight. I said the Dark Knight Rises.
We watched all three of those together in the theater at some point. So why are you saying like we've never watched it together? Get the fuck out of here. Continue.
Right, and I watched fucking The Dark Knight. Right, we used to go on like every Thursday when I was off of work. We used to go to the Dollar Theater over in Santa Ana and watch that shit. I've seen The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger, honestly, like 30 times in the theaters. But anyway, here's a good one, right? When like Bane is talking to Batman and Batman's like, "Oh, I'm gonna turn the lights off," and Bane's like, "Dude, you adopted the darkness. I was born in it.
I was born in it." That's such a
like,
hard line. That's such a hard line.
It's so fucking hard. That just means like you're done. You might as well turn the lights on or just stop because I'm gonna fuck your ass up right now.
Was that the part?
X.
Was that the first fight they get in? Because that first fight,
that's when he breaks his back.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of that whole movie, and the reason because that whole scene there's no music. It's just Foley. It's just them fighting. You just hear the wrestling, the punching, the hitting.
Dudes getting
just
fucked up.
Yeah, it's only Foley. It's no music at all. And then at the very end, Bane breaks Batman's back. Breaks his fucking back.
And Batman escapes. Remember, he breaks his helmet too.
Yeah,
his fucking face mask comes off.
That was it was like it's like 3 or 4 minutes of just brutality. Yeah, there's a lot of quick shots, which is kind of annoying. But either way. That's the best. That's my favorite scene in the whole movie.
I think you're right. There's no music.
There's no music. No, it's only Foley. It's only noise. It's only fucking noise.
I think Christopher Nolan can be like a great director, but he's also fucking annoying sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But like that, I like that because that makes us like when you're watching in the movie theaters, you're aware of your breathing, like because like you're panting because like I want Batman to succeed, right?
Yeah.
And so you're feeling yourself kind of like breathing heavier, and so you're aware of your breathing heavier, so you kind of like hold your breath a little bit. That's good.
And also another thing I liked about Dark Knight Rises is toward the end, when there's the uprising in front of the courthouse, there's not 4,000 people. There's like 100 people, and it's a straight up. It's just a brawl. It's not like this battle. There's no guns. There's no knives. It's just everybody's just punching and beating the shit out. It's a giant fucking bar brawl. That's what that scene is, and I love that too. Like it's the most natural thing.
Because like the guys in the front for like the let's call them the union, right? The guys in the union are in the front. And they have the lead pipes in their hands, and they're hitting their pipes in their hands like this. And the guys in like the Confederation, they have a little bit of guns, but it's only one row deep.
Yeah.
And the guys in the union like back like they're cracking their knuckles and. Like that's pretty wild. That's some like Patriot kind of shit, right? Like Mel Gibson, The Patriot.
That's
like,
a great movie too.
Yeah,
goddamn,
good stuff.
Gotta watch The Patriot. I haven't seen that in probably 15 years.
Oh,
that's a killer movie. I gotta watch that again.
That's a top 5 for Phil when he did his fucking basic
Patriots.
bitch fucking top 5. But that was always only of his basic bitch top 5. That's like okay, I will give you that one. I'll give you that one.
Basic
But
bitch.
anyway,
Yeah, we're totally off the rails here.
The anecdote that I gave was like, dude, you adopted the darkness. I was born in it. That's like X. X is like Bane in this instance, whereas like everybody else, like the minute men, like the Husker Do's, the Husker Don'ts, and like everyone else, like they started in the hardcore scene and transitioned out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And X is like, bro, like I started that shit. Like get the fuck out of here. Like I was born in it. So I think this is a perfect record because of what it did for the scene, because of what it did for the genre, because how well it holds up today.
It does hold up.
Because
well.
how like nothing else sounds like this, and we love our Gwen Stefani's, and we love a lot of like punker bands that maybe have a girl in the band, right? Like it's always like a cool thing to see. Like, oh, check it out, like Haley Williams is fucking slaying out there. Not like this. Like no one's ever done it like this. Like no one's ever done it like this. Like stacked up against the odds, right? So there's just sheer determination alone, this should get like a fucking high ranking. But I give it a 3 out of 3. That's my rant.
I agree with almost everything you say here. I think they were in such a position in the hardcore scene, in the punk scene. Exene she just had to toughen up. She had to be just fucking rough and wild, and she openly admits, I was wild. But it wasn't, the thing with Exene is she never seemed fake about it. She was like, I love to party. I love to drink. I love to get fucked up. I like to be the most wild person here, and it all seems so genuine. Like I don't feel like there's nothing is forced with her. And how can it be? It's not like some record label came in and said, well, you're gonna play this part, and these guys are gonna play their part. Like even with, I mean, as much as we love Gwen and No Doubt, by the time Tragic Kingdom came out, it was very much like a record label thing, like, well, Gwen's she's gonna be kind of the star. Oh, yeah. You guys are gonna blah blah blah. But with X at this time with Los Angeles, it wasn't that at all. It was just like fucking Exene. She's just gonna fucking be as wild as she wants to be, but not stupid and annoying like Courtney Love. Like Courtney Love is so
that's trashy.
Like it's not even trashy. It's just
Courtney Love was trashy.
She's the equivalent of Darby Crash. I hate Darby Crash, and I hate the Germs. I really hate Darby Crash, and Courtney Love is the equivalent to Darby Crash. Just kind of trashy. Like a gross person, gross personality. Just I cannot fucking stand them. So
there's a certain like
Xenie
sex
is not
appeal
that
with
way.
Someone confident like Xenie. Like,
yeah,
there really is.
And somebody like Courtney Love, like she just tries too hard to be different, to be edgy. All that kind of shit. She just seems like such a fucking phony. But Xenie just does not seem that way at all. And in the end, this is a great record. The way it melds the punk, the rockabilly, the power pop in moment. I still think there's some power pop here. I know you don't necessarily agree, but I think
there's no power pop in this.
There's a tiny bit of it.
There's not.
But anyway, there's some really good stuff here, and I think it's one of the most influential records of all time, especially in the punk scene. Getting people into punk. I think they're a great gateway band, like I said earlier. I think objectively, I think this is a 3 out of 3, but subjectively, my own rating, it's a 2.25.
I like what you did.
Like
that was safe. That was safe.
I know. I understand its importance. I think this is like one of the most important records in rock music. I really think this is one of the most important records in rock music. But it's not always for me. But it's still a 2.25. It's still a high rating. Where 3 is a perfect album, 2 is a good album you're going to continue to listen to. 2.25 is still solid.
Let me just throw this out there. You gave Louder Now by Taking Back Sunday a perfect 3 out of 3.
That was strictly subjective. That was strictly subjective.
According to your subjectivity, Louder Now is a better record than this.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay.
Yeah. That's fine.
I'm not saying it's good or bad.
Okay, so
I just want to keep you consistent.
In my
here we go.
rebuttal here, my defense to what you're just saying is that Taking Back Sunday write better songs. Like a lot of what we've talked about this episode is the punk scene and the band's place within the punk scene, whether it's Xenie or the rest of the band. It's a lot of, I would say like over half of what we talked about is just the scene and their position in the scene, but not the actual album, not the songs. We've spoken very highly of the lyrics, but most of it is about the scene. which we did not do with a band like.
Deferring a little bit.
No, I'm not deferring.
You're deferring. Yes, you are, because the scene is so fucking important here.
It
has to be talked about.
It is important.
There is no scene with Taking Back Sunday.
No, there's not.
Have to talk about
the songs.
record.
But yeah, even though there's not really a scene, or the scene kind of sucks with Taking Back Sunday, the songs are incredible, and that's what makes them stand out within that particular scene.
We could have just only talked about the album if you wanted to. I have plenty of notes we didn't even get into. We could talk about only the album if you wanted to.
But my point
is, the scene is just as important.
But my point is, we've spoken more of the scene and the importance of the scene.
And I just proved to you why your point is invalid.
But objectively, they're 3 out of 3. Subjectively,
objectively is louder now a 3 out of 3.
Objectively, I would give it a 2.5.
Okay, that's all I want.
You almost skipped over that.
Oh, good Lord, that's still so fucking high.
All right, so
that's funny.
So that's all we have. Thank you all for listening. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. If you're watching on YouTube, smash that subscribe button, and that's it. That's all. We're getting into a brand new season. That's it. That's all.